It's no secret that United Airlines continues to invest in their older aircraft. Today, we'll be flying with them from Calgary, Alberta to Indianapolis via Chicago on their Airbus A320 and Embraer ERJ-170. I'm excited to see what these older aircraft are all about, and I hope you are as well. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Welcome to Calgary International Airport on this beautiful July morning. This is my second time at a large Canadian airport, and Calgary has definitely surpassed my expectations as such. Feel free to check out the videos on this incredible visit. Security took only around 5 minutes, and this proved powerful as I was able to check out Who's in the Zoo, which sells several die-cast model aircraft. After a fun visit there and a model purchase, it's time to head over to our gate and find our aircraft for today's flight. Docked up here at the gate is November 472 Uniform Alpha, a 22-year-old Airbus A320 for United Airlines. I'm eager to see how this particular Airbus A320 is aged, so let's go ahead and get on board. And welcome to C8F, everybody. This Economy Plus offering will prove powerful for this 3-hour flight. Let's go ahead and push back from the gate, everybody. Be sure to stay on the lookout for all the in-flight videos, as this will be coming out very soon.
I think cash is fine. WestJet 737-800 and another 737-800 in a globe. No, because we canceled.
And here we go for our takeoff and rolling 17 left, everybody. I really hope you all enjoyed this takeoff, as the sounds were fantastic and the views were absolutely incredible.
I was not expecting it to be that good.
Alrighty, everybody, so let's begin our in-flight assessment. Before we do that, though, I really want to highlight the views on that takeoff, though. The amazing sound and view of that power up on the 320 here, and then we also saw those aircraft on the ramp, which were really interesting. I think some older Air Canada Jazz CRJs along some WestJet Dash 8s were really interesting, and then the beautiful view of the Calgary skyline. That was just an absolutely phenomenal takeoff, great lighting as well, so really enjoyed that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and continue to look at these views as we get into our in-flight assessment. So first and foremost, let's start with this United Airbus A320. It's November 472 Uniform Alpha, which is a 22-year-old example of the type. So really cool to see that after, I believe, the last A320 trip port we did for United. I think that one was like 28 years old or so. So yeah, it's crazy to see how these United Airbus A320s have evolved. They had quite a wide array of ages when United got them. So pretty interesting to note that. So United has 84 of the Airbus A320s at this current time. Unfortunately, they've begun to retire some of those, which is unfortunate, but obviously United's moving towards obviously uniting the world. So their goal obviously is to get some newer aircraft in the fleet. So that's what they're going to do moving forward. So that's what we're seeing there. They also have 81 Airbus A319s, and they're also beginning to develop a large fleet of Airbus A321neos as well. So it's been really cool to see them take over the landscape, and overall it's all looking really great. I also want to note that in this trip report, the reason that we're combining these flights is because I've already done videos on the products that are featured in this video. So we'll kind of dive into them a little bit, but it's fairly similar to what we've done in the past. So the approach right now is to go for maximum efficiency, of course. So we definitely want to highlight all the flights I've done here, but of course we want to move through them fast because there is quite a bit of awesome content coming up. So again, stay on the lookout for all that content as well, but that's the reason that we're doing these together if you're curious. So yeah, we'll be talking about the 170 next, so that's absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and dive into our next component of this flight, which is the segment from Calgary to Chicago here. So this segment is offered year-round by United Airlines. They're the only carrier, to my knowledge, that offers it year-round, which is a little surprising, but American and WestJet both offer this on a seasonal basis. So pretty cool to see this. Again, United, that only airline. I think it's usually about twice a day. This was the morning flight. They might have 3 daily during the peak season, but anyway, we see that along with quite a few flights out of Vancouver, and I don't think Edmonton has Chicago, but I could be wrong. So yeah, the region definitely has some representation for Chicago, so you can get there fairly fast from Calgary. So that's awesome to see with these United nonstops. So that was really cool. Let's see here. What else did I want to mention? So another component of Calgary that's interesting to know is the reason that Chicago doesn't have as many flights is because Calgary, that is, has several flights to some cities in the northern U.S. for connections. Quite a few flights to Seattle. They also have flights to San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver especially has quite a few too. So plenty of ways to get to the United States. You can also find flights to Las Vegas, Phoenix. I think there's even a handful to Dallas and a couple of other cities too. So there's definitely connections, but Chicago, yeah, again, it's a little underserved for what I would have expected, but that's probably the demand that they're able to find. So that's currently where we are there, and overall it's pretty sweet. But it is a really nice link. It's about a 3-hour segment, so it's definitely not short. So yeah, there's some great views here. Let's talk about the Economy Plus product a little bit here. So United typically overcharges for them. This particular flight wasn't too bad. I believe it was somewhere between $60 and $75, so it was a little higher, but I think it was worth it for this longer of a flight, and power-ups and thrust reductions are wonderful, of course. So yeah, the seat padding was a little bit better than what I would have anticipated, so that was really nice. I think I sat in Economy Plus maybe once before this, not very often, but I think I may have sat in it just once. So anyway, though, it's still a pretty good product, and I think they've done a good job with it. Again, I think they overcharge for it, especially on some of the shorter segments like Denver to Tulsa, for example, but you can still find good links, so that's definitely awesome to see, and overall looking really great there as well. And then the last major component that I want to get into for this particular segment is I want to talk about why we're on United to begin with, because you're probably wondering, well, if you're already in Calgary, wouldn't you have found it a more interesting plane to fly? And yes, we did have plans to fly a little bit more of an interesting plane. So my original plan for this day was to fly Lynx with service to Las Vegas. So that was taking place on a Tuesday. And as you know, with these low-cost carriers, they really structure their network where if they change a time or a date, it really messes with it. And they completely changed the whole day after I booked it with Lynx, which was really surprising. So I think I booked it for a Tuesday, and I think they changed it to, maybe it was a Monday. It might have been a Monday. It was, whatever the case was, they moved it back a day. So I think I booked it maybe for a Monday, and they moved it back to Tuesday, which again was completely off the map, considering that I think it was only changed like 4 months out from the flight. So fairly soon to it, which I was, again, pretty surprised by. I wouldn't have expected them to completely move the day, moving the flight by 3 hours or whatever. I could see that, but the whole day was pretty impressive. So yeah, the original plan was to fly Lynx down to Las Vegas and then go on from there, but unfortunately they kind of messed our plans up, so that's a little unfortunate. So it took United instead. It was a little bit higher on the price since it wasn't last minute, obviously, but it was down the road in the booking process. So it was the best that I could come up with at that time. Air Canada had a couple of good ones, but they were double the price of United. So yes, this is a little bit more redundant, but there was not too much I could do since Lynx literally changed the day, and that's probably why they ended up going out of business. I'm kidding, of course, but that was a little unfortunate. So yeah, it was either that or Flair, and I looked into both, and Lynx had great times to Las Vegas, and it was like $60 or $70, whatever it was wonderful. So yeah, kind of unfortunate there, and it happens to the best of us. But yeah, it ended up, they had some Global X charter aircraft ended up operating it anyway, so we may have gotten on one of those, which would have been cool, but United still did a great job here, and it was pretty interesting to still score them in this particular aspect. So yeah, quite the situation here, and overall pretty interesting to say the least. But yeah, the Economy Plus product on this particular segment was great, had all that extra leg room, and overall the views were really good. So really enjoyed this. So let's just go ahead and descend into Chicago O'Hare after a really awesome cruising session there. So we'll be landing on the north side today, pretty typical approach. It's going to be awesome, and I hope all of you enjoy it. But yeah, United for this first flight did a really good job, very sufficient, had the snack service, so not too crazy, what I would expect for a 3-hour flight. Seat padding was pretty good, plenty of leg room. Again, wonderful job. Not really too much to report on besides the fact that United was pretty consistent with this offering, and overall I really enjoyed the flight. So yeah, I really hope all of you enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and land to Chicago O'Hare. They did a wonderful job, and that will take us into the layover. So let's go ahead and touch down, everybody. I really hope all of you enjoyed this landing. It was absolutely spectacular. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So I really hope all of you enjoyed that first flight. It was wonderful. So let's go ahead and get off, and then I'll tell you kind of what happened during this rather long layover at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So United was actually offering a 6-hour layover, which was absolutely wonderful for what I was trying to do. So I wanted to go plane spotting, but they also had on offer for just an additional $40 the United Club Pass, which was an absolute steal at this particular moment because I was going to be there for both lunch and dinner. So I used the United Club Pass for both lunch and dinner and to check it out, and I thought my value was really represented in what I was able to do. So I got to check out the club, or all 4 clubs actually. I wanted to check out all 4 of them. So I went into each club that they have at O'Hare, and they're all really nice. So you can kind of see some pictures here, and we'll be doing a full video on the United Club. So check that out when we get that out. But anyway, really awesome time. Really enjoyed it. The United clubs are super nice, adequate seating. The food options are superb, and overall, really fun experience. Not many great views from the Chicago areas, particularly on the lounges of the ramp. But anyway, it was still a really great opportunity to check it out and see what it was all about. I'm gonna have to eat anyway, so really enjoyed the experience. So glad to finally get to check out the United lounges, and it is quite an awesome experience. So again, check out that video when we get it out. And then from there, some plane spotting over on the west side because the lighting was getting good on the ramp over there. So, or rather on the east side looking west. So got to see some really cool international wide bodies. You can kind of see a couple of them here. So overall, really enjoyed the experience, and that was a great time getting the plane spot. And check out that full video when it comes out too. And then Chicago O'Hare International Airport has some really awesome infrastructure. I'm super excited to finally make a full video on the airport now that I've gained a bunch of photos and videos. So that'll be coming out very soon, so stay on the lookout for that one, and that's going to be another awesome video right there, to say the least. Alrighty, everybody, so that'll take us to our second and final flight for today, which will be on United Express, operated by Republic Airways on their ERJ-170. So really excited for this. This is actually my first ERJ-170, which may be a little bit surprising, but honestly, I'm really stoked for this. So this is November 861 Romeo Whiskey, which is a, let's see, where did I note how old it was? It's an 18-year-old ERJ-170. So this will be really great for Republic. Also, the gate area was really cool over there in Terminal 1 for United. Thought I would note that as well. But anyways, super excited for this, so let's just go ahead and get on board. So I believe we're seating in seat, is it 18A? I think it's like 18 or 22. It's somewhere back there, but as you can see, the view is absolutely awesome back here. It's really great, and again, really excited for this flight, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. And to answer the question for anybody that's curious, this is seat number 22A, so a really great view back here, and as you can tell, the wing, it's just really awesome. Get to see that winglet, and all the pieces to the puzzles look really great. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and kind of just go through this. So we're going to push back right here, and can't really hear the engine start, so I'll just do a time lapse for it, and some really cool taxiing aircraft as well. So I'll go ahead and show you all those, and we'll go ahead and take off here on runway, I believe it was 22 left, could be wrong, but anyway, it's some runway over there on the south side at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this. It's going to be an awesome power up, so let's go ahead and get into it, everyone. Alrighty, everybody, so let's get into the second in-flight assessment. So we do have some differences to talk about here, so much different segment, much different aircraft type. So let's go ahead and get started. But first off, that view of the Chicago skyline is just, you can't beat it, man. It's an awesome departure, awesome arrival. If you've not flown into O'Hare before, please do yourself a favor and make it happen, because it is awesome every single time. I recommend sitting on the left side of the plane. Typically, that's where you're going to get the best views, especially landing. So yeah, it's a really great view, and I highly recommend it. And especially early in the morning or later in the evening in the summer, summers when the city's front lit. It is a tremendous view, but no matter what the case is, please do yourself a favor and fly into O'Hare so you can see that beautiful view of the skyline like you're seeing there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this flight. So again, it's a really short one. This is equivalent to Dallas to Tulsa. It's like 30 minutes, so not too much to dive into in the actual cruising session. Quite a few clouds, so we'll note that as well. We'll also be landing into a storm, so you kind of see the portions of that too. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So first and foremost, we have this 18-year-old ERJ-170 for Republic. The registration once again is November 861 Romeo Whiskey. So there are some interesting notes going on with the Republic 170 fleet, so I did want to talk about that real quick. First and foremost, as the time I'm making this video, there's only a handful left in the fleet. Delta still has 26, United currently has 11, and American just has 1 left. All of these aircraft are going to be heading over to Envoy Air, that's the American Airlines subsidiary out of Dallas and Chicago, and they'll begin operating these aircraft, so that's an interesting transition there between the subsidiaries. Not very surprising though, considering that obviously Republic's going to be getting some newer planes moving forward, so it kind of makes sense. But this will leave Republic now with a bunch of ERJ-175s, particularly 91 for American Eagle, 46 for Delta Connection, 46 for United Express, and they have 3 in their house livery. So they have around 200 of these aircraft to work with. And I think that'll prove quite powerful for them. So yeah, definitely really cool to note that. I'll be interested to see what they do moving forward on some of the routes like this one, Chicago to Indianapolis, and then other ones where the 170 is very prominent, especially out of Newark. I think they operate quite a bit, and then Washington Dulles too. So it'll be pretty interesting. And then Delta also uses these quite a bit out of the LaGuardia operations. So another one that will be interesting to follow along with, and overall pretty interesting. But I guess my model aircraft are kind of irrelevant now, but I was fortunate enough to get to fly these United ones, so can't complain with that too much. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the Indianapolis to Chicago routes. I believe it's just American and United that operate it. I could be wrong, but I think it's just the 2 of them. And then Southwest, I don't think they fly the Chicago Midway out of Indianapolis. I could be wrong, but nevertheless, American and United definitely fly to O'Hare from Indianapolis. Again, it's a very short segment, like 30 minutes, so not too much, but you will see American flying mainline aircraft on this route right now, which is really cool. I believe they operate 737s and A319s pretty consistently. I think United's been just the ERJ-170s and 175s, a couple of CRJs as well. They might fly a 319 here and there, but from what I've seen, it's mainly been the E-jets on this service because of how short it is. So it's a really cool little segment. Not really too much to dive into regards to, outside of it has quite a bit of market share. I think they get a solid, I don't know if it's like 150,000 passengers, maybe 200,000, but they definitely get a pretty large number on it. So that's really cool to think about. And overall, it's a really cool piece of the puzzle. So excited to see what's happened to Republic's 170s. The seat was fairly, now I'm thinking about it, I think it was really comfortable. I might be wrong, but it's an older product. So I thought it was really good in the lower back padding, especially. But yeah, legroom was sufficient. I'll see if I have a clip and I'll put it in here if I do. But overall, once again, it was a really great time and really enjoyed the flight on the 170 because once again, this is my first time flying one, and American's going to have them for a while, so I'll probably get some more on American. But yeah, again, the product was really solid, and I thought Republic was really cool. I also think this might be my first time flying Republic. I might be wrong on that, but regardless of whatever the case is, it was a really great time, and overall, I really enjoyed that. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and make our approach here into Indianapolis International Airport. Again, we'll have a thunderstorm, so stay on the lookout for that. But anyway, I believe we're landing, let's see if I can pick my brain here. I believe it's runway, making sure here, I want to say 5 right. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. It's one of those over there. It's over there between the AAR facility and the actual airport itself. So I'm trying to think of which runway that would be. But anyway, it's the one over there on that side. So nevertheless, it's going to be a great landing. And I hope all of you enjoyed this. Republic did a wonderful job on this flight. A very short one, but again, the service was great. Flight attendants were friendly. And overall, there was no complaints to be had on this particular segment. So with all that being said, hope all of you enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and touch down, and I'll give you kind of the summary in this video and what to expect coming up next. everybody, so I really hope all of you enjoyed that. That was so much fun. Let's go ahead and dock up here and summarize this video. But first and foremost, we're now in a little bit of a ground stop here for about 15 minutes. There was some lightning on the ramps, so had to wait to get onto the jet bridge. So after that though, it went really well, so we were able to make it onto the jet bridge after about 15 minutes or so. And yeah, that will conclude it. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this. It was a really great time with United today. They did a very good job, and again, really big highlight there with the United Club and getting a great deal on that pass. And then yeah, these older aircraft definitely proved powerful, and the cabins were both really nice. So overall, I had a wonderful time. Definitely justified here on United. If you find a good deal and want to fly on them, I highly recommend it. But overall, I really enjoyed this experience, and I thought they did a really good job. So coming up next for the Chicago content, once again, we'll have that video on the United Club. We'll have plane spotting there, and we'll also have the full airport tour, which I'm very excited to make all those videos. So that'll be absolutely awesome. And then from there, we're going to be bringing it back in on Southwest Airlines after we go to Louisville to go plane spot. So very excited for that video. But yeah, Southwest will be bringing us back through Dallas Love Field. So we'll do one video there, and then we'll be on to Oshkosh. So I really hope all of you have enjoyed the Pacific Northwest content. It's been a bunch of fun. There's been some really cool videos to publish from this trip, and we'll do a full trip summary coming up as well to kind of show you how it went and all the different pieces of the puzzles and all the videos that we ended up making to go into it. So yeah, I really hope all of you enjoyed this. United did a wonderful job, highly recommended, and definitely go check them out if you ever get an opportunity to. With that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation of Aviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation of Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.